part 2.
Okay, ready to go here. We have some other conditions in the master bedroom. At the northwest side, there is an outlet. The outlet appears that it was that one of the switches was operated one of the outlets, and it's usually a top socket. Okay, in this case here, I did turn them all on, and then I turned them off just to find out which one it operated. However, from what I could see, I do have an outlet top socket that does not have any power or is not energized at this time. Don't know what happened. I don't know if they bypassed it when they put the ceiling fan in, or is it something that was just maybe a problem with the outlet that was miswired to begin with. So we do want to have an electrician come out and make a correction there. The thermostat wiring, the thermostat itself is operational. Must have had something happen with it at one time, because if you've ever messed around with them, you'll notice one side is fan on, the other one is auto. Auto is designed to operate off of the thermostat, so when the temperature is exceeded or goes, one way or the other, in heating or cooling mode, it will shut the unit off until the temperature gets to where it needs to be, whatever your setting is. When it's on the on or fan on position, it'll just run constantly. However, here it is reversed. So if you're not careful, you'll turn the unit on and it will just run all day long without shutting off. Okay, so you may want to have somebody come out and make some corrections to that. The AC unit was tested. I got a 20 degree differential reading on that, and that is taking a measurement from the outlet side of the vents and then taking and subtracting that from the return, which gives me a differential. The higher the delta, the more efficient the unit is operating. So I did get a 20-degree split, which is on the high side. However, in heat mode, I couldn't get the unit to heat. I couldn't find a reversing valve to let me know whether or not it was a heat pump unit, or if I just could find that it was an electric heat. I'm leaning more towards electric heat. I also believe that the unit is probably the original unit. They have about an 8 to 12 year life expectancy, okay, on the average, which means is that this unit here, if it's 22 years old, the data plate was completely worn, so we couldn't see it. That means is that it's probably a 10-SEER unit, which they're no longer making parts for, okay? So there could be that they could repair it and keep this guy running. However, in this case, like I said, is that the heat isn't operating. There is a likelihood they may want to replace it, including the amount of hail damage that it did experience at one time, which it could have occurred here last year when we had some pretty serious hail that came flowing through. Sash spring, I have a sash spring on a vertical sliding window that needs to be replaced. I have a latch missing or damaged in the master bedroom. Just some general items such as those. And that pretty much covers some of the big items.
Termites.
Oh, thank you, Aaron. Termite issues, yes, we do have some tubes that are going on. It looks like the house had been pre-treated at one time, and that shows up as spot treatment. You can see it drilled into the concrete about every 12 inches around the home and inside the garage. However, up underneath the patio deck, of course I couldn't get far enough up in there to be able to get a decent photograph, but with my flashlight I could see that there are some tubes that are leading up to the deck, and I also have a wood column that supports the northwest side of the home. There's a deck, kind of an overhang on the eave for the front bedroom window. In that wood, both the support beam and the post, I have tubes that are coming out and in the wood there, so that implies that there is a likelihood of subterranean termites here in the home. Our reports don't differentiate between active and inactive. They just ask that there are signs of. So in this case here, there's no way for us to know whether or not it was treated within the last year. Okay, so in this case here, the only way to be able to find out would be to contact the state. They would have that information to let you know.
And I'll do that.
Okay,
I'll do that.
And then be able to determine whether or not treatment's going to be required. And of course, since they're here, you're going to want to stay on top of it and keep things available so that you can actually go around the home and be able to monitor for that activity.
Since they're from another state and you're more of a termite expert than me, because obviously you're a termite expert, can you tell them the difference between subterranean termites and the other type of termites? And just,
yes. Yeah. This is, and Aaron brings up a good point. I usually tell all my clients, and that is that subterranean termites, it's kind of an oxymoron, and that is if you're going to have them, they are the best to have. They actually colonize the soil outside of the home rather than actually infesting the home, which is why they can treat the outside of the home, creating a chemical barrier. The difference between them, of course, with the dry wood and damp wood termites, they actually infest the home. where then you have to spend the extra thousands of dollars to fumigate the property. In other words, tent it, move out of your house, where with subterranean termites, they move in through shelter tubes made of mud into the home or into the wood, and then every 24 hours they return in these tubes to soil for moisture. The colony stays in the soil. If you treat the area and create the barrier, that colony will then move on to the next house or next subject or down the road, whichever they like best. But that is kind of the difference between these types of termites. They're sneaky because they will come up in these tubes, so you have to make sure that you're familiar with them. One of the ways that you can always become familiar with them is to go and do a Google search. You can select images and type in subterranean termites, and they'll give you all the little things that you would want to know about them, or at least what they appear to be. So this way, when you walk around your home and you see a tube, you'll be able to identify them quickly.